Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Marx 898. I had to test that textured primer to make sure that it wouldn't react with spray paint, since that's what I'm going to be using when I hydro dip it. So I did it a light spray with this metallic pewter paint that I had, and no reaction at all. And I just wanted to do a quick follow-up too. You could see this with the initial paint test. This is metallic pewter. Actually, it doesn't look too bad this way. When I spray the spray paint onto the water for the hydro dipping, I'm going to be using black, red, and yellow. So in any case, this was just a quick test. Now I will respray this black before I dip it, because it has to have a base color. You either have to paint it red, yellow, or black, whichever colors you're going to be using. You have to have one of those as the base color for the locomotive itself. So anyway, as you can see, the holes are gone. I've got the stack pretty well fitted, and if this had handrails on it, it actually wouldn't look too bad right now. I have the lens for it. I have to make a number board. I'm just going to fill that hole with epoxy, so it'll be an opaque, kind of a yellow, so it'll look very much like a number board. Won't be any numbers on it, but it will at least look like a number board. Anyway, just a quick spray of metallic pewter over that textured primer. I just want to make sure there wasn't going to be any kind of reaction between them. And this is Rust-Oleum paint, so that's what I will be using. So I will respray this black, and then in the next few days, I will do my first hydro dip. It's going to be interesting to see what the results are. Anyway, I just want to do a follow-up video on that 898. Like I said, it actually doesn't look too bad this way. So just stuck the motor back in it. So it runs really well. So once I decide on the paint scheme, like I said, I'll do a complete video on getting the hydro dip prepared, and then actually hydro dipping the locomotive to see what kind of reaction or what kind of results we get. So anyway, just a quick paint test to make sure there was going to be no reaction between that textured primer and whatever paint I'm going to use. And didn't have any kind of reaction at all, as you can see. So the holes are gone, and like I said, if this had handrails on it, it actually wouldn't look too bad as is. So in any case, I will respray it black, and then when I do the hydro dipping, I'll do a video on preparing the hydro dip, and then do a video on actually dipping the locomotive. I've been wanting to try this. That's why I'm putting so much time into this 898. And I didn't want to run the risk of going to all the trouble of getting the hydro dip ready, hydro dipping this, and then have some kind of reaction between the primer and the paint. That would just ruin the entire experiment. So in any case, I will respray this black, and then like I said, the next few days I will prepare the hydro dip using black, red, and yellow. So it's going to be a really interesting experiment. Like I said, that's why I'm putting all the time and effort into this 898. In most cases, I would have just resprayed it black and let it go. But I want to make sure that it isn't going to have any kind of a reaction between the spray paint and that textured primer. So anyway, it looks okay. There was no reaction at all between them. You can hear a train outside. How apropos. Anyway, the 898 actually doesn't look too bad, this color. So in any case, I just want to do a follow-up on the 898. Like I said, getting ready to do the hydro dipping. So I'll do that sometime this week. I'm going to be using very likely a 5-gallon bucket of water. And then, like I said, you spray the spray paint in layers on top of the water. Black, red, black, yellow, black, red, black, yellow. Until you have a built-up thickness of paint on the water. And then you take a toothpick or anything small and actually draw lines in the paint on the water. And that exposes all the different colors. And when you get the pattern that you think will look good, you then dip your locomotive, and it transfers the pattern on the water directly to the locomotive itself. So anyway, like I said, it's going to be a really, really interesting experiment. I'm looking forward to doing it. So I got to get a 5-gallon bucket carried in here, spray the paint on the water, get that all set up, and then I've got to come up with a handle of some kind to attach to the locomotive. I might use a 1x2 and a couple of heavy magnets. because you have to have some way to hold this locomotive while you hold it underwater and slowly dip it through the paint. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on the test of this spray paint. It didn't have any reaction at all, so that's something I had to find out. I didn't want to go through all this process and then have the hydro dip have a reaction with that primer. So it's going to be an interesting experiment, as I said. Anyway, I just want to do a quick follow-up. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.